behaviorism is a school of psychological thought which instructs that learning occurs through interactions with the environment. Behavioral theorists focus on an observable behavior. Adherents to the school of thought believe that inner mental states, such as feelings and emotions, are useless in explaining behavior because behavior is shaped by the environment. Contributors to behavioral theory are Ivan Pavlov and B.F. Skinner. Pavlov and Skinner advocated two major aspects of behavioral theory known as classical conditioning and operant conditioning. Classical conditioning results when a stimulus that occurs naturally is balanced with a response. In Ivan Pavlov's experiments with dogs, he paired food with external stimuli, such as the sound of a tone. Eventually, dogs began to salivate, response, when they heard the stimulant, sound of the tone, even when food was not being given. The two actions are known as the conditioned stimulus and the conditioned response. Operant conditioning. Operant conditioning is a theory of behavior which explores how behavior and its consequences affect individuals in their future behavioral choices through rewards and punishment. This theory, made famous by B.F. Skinner, is best illustrated by the example of a person who touches a hot stove, which is a behavior, and, as a result, burns a finger, which is a consequence. After being burned, that person will likely not touch that stove again. Skinner expanded operant conditioning to include what he called operant behavior. According to his theory, behavior does not depend upon preceding stimulus, as advocated by Pavlov and others, but instead depends upon what happens after the response.
Chomsky argued that the part of language most likely to be biological is not so much the meaning of the words as the grammar we use to put them together.
Take the sentence, John ate an apple. Let's say we've gotten to the point where a child understands that. We hear John ate it. Okay. Let's say the child understands that to mean John's eating something or other. Well, there's a kind of a principle. The principle says that if something is missing, that you understand it to mean something or other. Okay, that's natural. Take it a step further. Take the sentence, John is too stubborn to talk to Bill. Okay, that means John is so stubborn that he won't talk to Bill. Drop out the last word Bill, just like we dropped out the last word apple. John is too stubborn to talk to. Well, by the principle we just used, it ought to mean John is so stubborn that he won't talk to someone or other, which is perfectly sensible, but it doesn't mean that. It means that John is so stubborn that someone or other won't talk to him, John. So we invert the interpretation. A child can go through its whole life without having heard evidence relevant to these interpretations, and they're known instantly.
Can you tell me a little bit about the moo cows near Nana and Pepe's house?
Yeah.
What about those moo cows? Do you go to see them? Can you tell us about the character? The moo cow is the character. And where does the moo cow live?
In the pasture.
In the pasture. And when you go to see the moo cows, what do the moo cows eat in the pasture?
Hay.
They eat hay. Yes, they eat hay.
They eat hay.
They eat hay. And sometimes the moo cows are walking in the barn. They go in the barn. And do you know what I saw the last time I went?
Yes.
The moo cows were walking in the mud. And one of them, what happened to the moo cow?
They were in the mud.
He went in the mud and he fell
Down.
And how did you feel about that? Oh, did you feel bad for the moo cow?
I got a red.
You have a barrette. It's very pretty. Your barrette is very pretty.
Don't take it out.
I'm not going to take it out. I'm going to just leave it right there. Can you show me the happy actress? Yes. Can you show us the sad actress? Can you show us overwhelmed? Overwhelmed. Can you show us the angry? Oh, yes. Look at your eyebrows. Nana's eyebrows and your eyebrows. Are they the same? They look angry. But we like to look happy, don't we?